everyone, how are you doing? We are very nearly at the weekend and very nearly at the festive break, so could be that you're having mixed feelings, but here's the good news. Not long now until the Christmas break is out of the way and no more talking about the dreaded sea, which is great. So this time, you think about it, this time next week we'll be kicking on into the new year, so not long to go for those of you that are finding it like death by a thousand cuts. So this week's topic is all about getting back into the flow. So I talked about this on Monday, and I was saying that my quest for having a family felt like the impossible task. It felt like whatever I tried, whatever I did, I was going against the flow, and ultimately it proved to be an impossible task. But that doesn't mean that every aspect of your life is going to be like that. There are other aspects that I have found easier. You know, if I take, for example, running, at one point it was I had no problem every month doing a half marathon. It's that to you might sound like a form of torture, but I absolutely adore it. Running is my thing. It's not difficult for me to put my shoes on. Sometimes I will fall out of love with it. I mean, if it's absolutely hammering it down, it's cold outside and it's windy, it can take the shine off it. But more often than not, running is totally my thing. And you'll have things like that too. So it'll be easy for you to do, I don't know why skateboarding's popped into my head. Maybe skateboarding's your thing. Maybe not. But if that's your thing, you will find that easy to do because that is your passion, your love. That will be the first thing that will pop in your head and that you'll want to do. So it'll be easy for you. That's a random example. I don't know where that's come from. But there you go. But so how have you got on with this week? How have you got on with, did you set yourself a goal? Have you made tiny little inroads into it? Or was it a big fat hairy no? I ain't touching that. I'm in no mood for that. That can just do one. Doesn't matter where you are with this. Sometimes you're going to be in the mood for it, sometimes you're not, and that is absolutely fine and dandy. It's exactly the way you need to be, doing things that you know are going to work for you, and if you're not in the mood for it, then don't. It's all about boundaries and taking self-care and putting you first. So I talked about it yesterday. So next week we are going to be talking about the new year, and with the new year comes new goals. I'm not big about resolutions because you can break them so easily, but goals, for me, you invest more into goals. And I talked about it yesterday. The wellness month is starting almost immediately. So there's going to be lots of advertising around it, and there's going to be lots of webinars for you. So I've remembered what we were covering, unlike yesterday. So the first week is nutrition, the connection between diet and mental health, and there's goals around that, obviously. The following week is about getting connected, so making sure you've got a support network and finding people that are in the same boat with you and that you connect to. It's so important to have that network. Week 3 is then about exercise, and I know that's not everyone's bag, but I will be talking about the link between exercise and good mental health and feeling good about yourself, because you will do. Once you find an exercise you love, you'll be all over it. And then week 4, the one I couldn't remember, self-sabotage. Now, I don't know about you, but I do find if I set myself an awful lot of goals, I can go into self-sabotage and make it impossible to achieve them. So we're going to be talking about that and giving you some hints and tips, and another webinar about that. So if you are starting to get into making goals and look into how you can break them down and make them achievable, you're in the perfect mindset for next week and the wellness month, because it's all going to be about goals and putting you first and helping you to achieve what you may have felt was impossible. So it's time to get in there and get doing. So with that in mind, here's my top 3 tips for this week. So it can feel almost as though we have been focusing on so much crap lately that there's nothing that you can feel gratitude for, but it's important that you are able to appreciate and feel gratitude for certain things. Now, I'm not expecting you to go skipping off and say, oh, I'm so grateful for the winter, I'm so grateful for the dark evenings. This isn't about being denying your other sort of negative emotions. Everyone's got them, and you're meant to have them to be a healthy, well-rounded person. You can't always be la about everything. That's impossible. So, but it's difficult to forget what you've got to be grateful for when you're going through a crap time. So just think about one little thing that you can be grateful for, and that will just lighten the mood slightly. So just start with one thing if that's all you got. If you can make a list of 10, that's even better, but start with one, because it starts somewhere is better than not. Number 2, what would you do to make yourself feel happy now? Now, I'm not saying that you can have something impossible. You can't. So if you're sitting there saying, well, children will make me happy, of course they would make me happy too, but that isn't going to happen. It's not in the realms of reality. But what would make you feel happy now? What would give you a little bit of joy, a little bit of spark of something, something that will make you feel a bit lighter and a bit sort of not as though you're sort of wading through treacle. So for me, I'm going to go for a run this afternoon. I know I'm sort of sticking to the same songbook, but I've set myself a goal for April 2019, and that's what I'm working towards, and that's given me a little bit of joy, a little bit of spark of happiness, and something to work towards. So yeah, what would give you joy if you were just to up and do it now? And then finally, be open-minded. Now, I'm spiritual. There is, as far as I'm concerned, children wasn't my purpose, but I do have a purpose. There are bigger plans for me, and I'm more than happy to get involved with them and think about the world in that way. Now, if that doesn't click with you, I'm not for 1 minute going to pass my woo-woo off onto you. It's about you sort of thinking about what it is that you're going to do. What are you going to plan? What are your plans? If you could do something, what would you do? It's kind of like finding something that you can invest in again, and put to one side the fear that it will fail. If you go in feeling that it's going to fail, you'll self-sabotage it. But if you go in, you think, actually, I'm doing this and I'm going to make this a success, you'll do it. So doesn't matter if you're spiritual like me or you're not. You can plan, you can take back that power and make yourself feel good again. And the exercise, things that make you happy, list them. Take out a page in your journal and list 10 things that would make you happy. Either you can do it for now, or you can do it medium term or long term. For me, if I'm doing a list of 10, I tend to do 3 short term, 3 medium term, and then 4 long term, because usually you'll find that things are sort of connected. And if they're not, then they're disparate, so what? It doesn't matter. But take a page out and start listing things that make you happy. And if you're struggling, just start with one. If it's going out for a walk, do that. If it's, I don't know, chowing through a bar of chocolate, if that's what you need right now, then go for it. As long as you're eating it mindfully, remembering that this isn't terrific for me now, but this is what I need right now just to make me feel a little bit better, then why not? I'm not saying you should be doing it every day, we shouldn't, but if that's what you need right now, then why not? Treat yourself. So yeah, that is today's video. It's all about basically finding your flow, and that starts with you thinking about what makes you happy and what your goals are, and just starting to think about what it is you need going forward, because that's what we're going to be focusing on next week. So have a good day. I will see you again tomorrow for the call to action. Sunday's the roundup, and then Monday we'll be cracking into Christmas Eve. We will be talking about New Year. I'm not going to be working along the New Year, but there are still going to be videos. So keep tuning in, because they'll be there if you need them. But have a good one. I'm here for you every step of the way. Having been there myself, I know exactly how it feels, and I'm not suggesting or recommending anything that I've not tried on myself, and I know it works. So have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye for now.